Hi, it's Dorothy Guining with Scrapbooking Quebec. Happy International Scrapbooking Day. I'm absolutely thrilled to be participating in the YouTube Hub for the love of scrapbooking. There are a bunch of us playing along, creating pages all about this wonderful hobby, and you're going to find links to their channels in the description box below. Here's what I'm going to be doing today, a photo of Chester on my scrap room floor. And I do want to point out, creating a layout about your scrappy space, no matter how big or small, really makes a worthy story. And I'm saying this because I wish I had a photo of my sewing room 25 years ago. Seriously, it looked like Harry Potter's cupboard under the stairs, but I absolutely loved it. And if scrapbooking, your hobby, doesn't interest you, you can take this page design and simply use other photos. My plan here today is to show you how to create controlled chaos on a layout. Now, usually my pages are clean and graphic, but not today. I'm just going to have some fun playing with product, but you're going to notice there is a method to my madness. Now, here's what I'm going to be using. I have the Maggie Holmes Garden Party collection. I have paper, stickers, ephemera, and those alphas there, they are from Simple Stories. So on my desk, I did a bit of preparation. I have a frame style foundation with 3 sheets of paper, and I gutted 2 of them. And there is a tutorial on my channel where I do that, so I will link it up below. And from the paper that I gutted from behind my foundation page, I matted that one 5x5 photo. And I'm also going to show you the other paper I have left from my foundation page. And I do want to point out, I did select Maggie Holmes because the paper that Chester is sitting on, a lot of it is Maggie Holmes. Different collection, but a lot of the same colors. So that's why I selected this. I'm showing you the other papers I have on my desk. And I also want to point out, I have 2 cut apart sheets here. One of them is a full sheet, but you can see in the baggie there, I cut them apart. And I often do that when I buy a collection. I buy 1 or sometimes 2 of these cut apart sheets, and I cut them up and I use them as layering pieces. And for this particular layout I'm about to show you, there's lots of layering, so it's really perfect for it. And it makes like a really inexpensive ephemera pack, essentially. So also on my desk, you see I have those alphas there. Those are from Simple Stories, my all-time favorite alpha. And also on my desk, you're going to see I have a tray full of embellishments. I have some tools as well, but I'm pretty basic with the tools in this particular video. I'm going to be using that that cat punch from Stampin' Up. I often put a cat punch on a page when I do a Chester page, just kind of like a cameo cat punch out. What I'm going to do right now is start preparing my foundation page. And what I'm doing here is creating a layered photo mat. So I'm cutting down 3 printed papers and I'm putting all measurements on the screen. I call this my mini page. And this is a great way to set up a layout where you want to create a lot of layers, because basically I'm establishing some base layers here, and it's perfect for adding in extra embellishments, different layers, and all of that. You're going to see when I embellish this page, I tuck them in with all the different layers. Now what I'm doing is adhering some pieces together, but I adhered the photo to the pink mat. I'm adhering these 2 printed papers together, the bird paper and the floral paper, but I'm keeping these 3 pieces all separate. And that's because I'm going to have to play around a lot with placement. You can see I have a bunch of embellishing around me. And the first thing I'm going to do, and I do this with most of my layouts, is establish a spot for journaling as well as a title. So my title, which is My Scrap Room Buddy, is already on wax paper, and I'm using a piece of ephemera as a journaling spot. Now, I have an idea where that's going to go, but what I'm going to do now is create a visual triangle with embellishment. So I'm starting with black and white pieces. I have that cut apart sheet. It has hearts on it. I cut it in half. So I have half of it on top of my photo and half of it underneath. And it almost looks like it goes through my focal subject, which is Chester. On the right hand side, to create the triangle, I have a large piece of ephemera. It's already covered up. Underneath it says My Happy Place in pink. And on top of that, I actually added another black and white piece, that white square with the black scrolly lines. Once I had those three pieces in place to establish a visual triangle with the black and white, I came in with pink pieces. So I added the house there over on the right, a pink tag on the top left, and then I have another pink tab that says Here With You that I'm thinking of putting over on the right. Now what I'm doing is coming in with some vellum, and I find vellum a great addition when you want to create one of these layouts with lots of different layers, because it adds another layer, but it's not too weighty. So I have that vellum rose that I have in the bottom right by the title, and another one tucked in the top left. And those are both from the ephemera pack from this collection. So I'm more or less happy with the placement of all of this, but when I have a page that is kind of chaotic like this, I also do it with pages where I have lots of strips of paper. I do like to add some stitching, and in my case, I always do faux stitching. So what you see me doing here is poking holes with an old retired template from Stampin' Up! With a paper piercing tool, that template, and a sponge mat. And I did it on that pink piece there that's on the right, and I'm also doing it on that little cut apart sheet with the hearts that's going on the top. So I'm poking holes, and then you're going to see me come in with a fine tip marker and join the holes together with that, and it creates a stitching look. So I'm happy with that. I'm only doing it on two places right now, but I do know I want a third one to create a visual triangle. But at this point, I don't know where it's going to go, so I'm going to wait until the end to do that. Now I'm ready to start adhering because I have so many loose pieces on my page. I have to start adhering before I actually do my finishing touches. Now at this point I thought I was going to adhere that large green block to the foundation page, but I chose not to. And the reason why is because I'm still working with placement, especially for the title. And I'll talk about that in a little bit. What I'm doing is adhering those few embellishments in the top left because I know I'm happy with that. I'll put that little piece at the bottom, but you're going to see me work around with the title. And the reason why, there's a few reasons why. Number one, I know I want the word my to go in the bottom right corner of my photo. I also know I want the three words, my scrap room buddy, to line up on the left. I want them to all be justified at the same spot on the left where the words begin. And I also know I want the word scrap room to fit, or at least the length of the letters, I want it to fit on the layers of paper that fall just below the photo. That means the pink paper, the bird paper, and the floral paper. So what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I position the photo with the pink mat so that the word scrap room fits on those layers of printed paper underneath. And then I want the word buddy to line up underneath. All that being said, the placement of the photo with the pink mat is very important. Also very important is the placement of that large block, because I don't want the word buddy to be stuck at the very bottom of the page. Another reason why the placement of that block is so important, the word scrap room is really long, so I had to have enough room over on the right to place that word. All of that said, the reason why everything was loose was because I was playing around with placement, especially for the title, and that is part of controlled chaos. It may look like it was all slapped down, but it wasn't. I was really thinking it out. There's another thing here. You can see me kind of repositioning the elements in the cluster on the right. That's because the way I had it originally placed, that journaling spot with the word noted was further up, but what happened there was it created a kind of a gap between the word room and the journaling box. It was like trapped white space, and I didn't like that. So when I was playing around with it, fortunately it wasn't adhered, I moved that journaling spot down, and that basically close the gap and solve the problem of trapped space. Again, this may look all slapped down, but it is kind of a controlled, chaotic look. So now I finally figured out how I wanted things to be placed over there on the right. So I sped up the film and I am adhering it. And you can see as well, I am working within the layers. The word or the journaling box with the noted is underneath the bird paper. The large block with my happy place, it's underneath the photo, and that white thing with the house on top. Sorry about that. I don't know what happened. Basically, what I was saying was I layered up that white rectangle in the pink house, overlapping the photo. And now what you see me doing is coming in with some finishing touches. So I'm creating a reinforcer for that tag. I have a hole punch and a 1/2 inch circle punch. I'm adding a bow with twine from Stampin Up. And now I'm punching out a cat with that punch from Stampin Up, and I'm placing it just above the title. I'm thinking of putting something from the sticker sheet on the cap, but I decide not to. And now what you see me doing is coming in with another punched out cap. Basically, I'm layering them up, thinking that I may want to add some foam adhesive later on, but I ended up adhering them flat to the page. So all I did off camera, aside from my journaling, is I did add that third spot of faux stitching on the page, and you're going to see it. It's right between my journaling and that pink house. So just to review, here is how I created a controlled, chaotic layout. I started with a layered photo mat, and that adds lots of opportunity to tuck in bits and pieces. Then I figured out where I was going to place my journaling and my title, but I didn't adhere anything yet. After that, I created a visual triangle, essentially repeating colors in 3 different spots. And when I create visual triangles, by the way, they are all at different weights, meaning one is bigger than the other. So they are 3 different sizes. Once I played around with all of that and made sure that my title fit in and my journaling fit in, it was only then that I actually adhered everything to the page. And finally, I came in with some finishing touches. And in this case, I added that third hit of faux stitching, creating another visual triangle. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having fun on International Scrapbooking Day weekend. If you like this video, I would greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're new here, I would be thrilled if you subscribed. Don't forget to check out the other participants. They are all listed in the description box below. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.